In this one, we'll be taking a look at how to create a to-do list using Moon script. We'll be also exploring how to install an extension which supports the syntax of Moon script. For that, you'll need to go to extensions, and here you can see I have installed this Moon script extension, which you can also go ahead and download. That will ensure that you don't get all those squiggly lines which kind of denotes the syntax as erroneous. So once that's done, all you need to do is rename your file as .moon instead of .js. So here you can see that we have these files being referred, and the type is text moon and the source is todo.moon. Now here in todo.moon, what we are doing is we've created a couple of methods. This obviously remains the same, so we have moon.use and then we are running it. Now while running the application, we have done two things. The data is now a collection of a single to-do item and an array. So here some predefined list has already been populated, like exploring Moon, adding extension support in Visual Studio Code, and working on to-do list. After that, we are rendering this using the view to-dos component, where we are passing the data as is. So data, when passed over here, basically comprises these two things, to do and to dos. Now if we go to view to dos, that's over here, view to dos, you can see that we have this div tag, and inside the div we have one input which is of type text. The placeholder says what needs to be done. The value is data.todo, the single to do item, okay? And then on input we are running this update to do method. Just below that we have button, and on click of that we are creating a new to do item by calling this create to do method. After that we have a UL element which is printing out all the predefined to do items that we had in our to dos collection, and if we click on any of the items, we are removing that item from the to do list. So here we have code blocks for creating a to do item. If we go over here, we can see that when we are saying create a new to do item, we are initializing to do with blank, and obviously to dos is a collection of the current items and the one that we have created now. So that gets concatenated and stored in to dos collection. And finally, we are rendering it over here using the new view, data equals data new. If we look at the remove one, all we are doing is using the filter method to remove the one whose index we have passed, and the remaining ones are then stored in the to dos collection. Then we have update to do. So when you click in the text box and type something, at that time that value gets populated. So if you remember, in our previous lecture we explored this concept, view.target.value. So whatever you're typing in the text box, that gets captured using view.target.value, and then again we are returning the same component with the updated value. So that was update to do. And as you can see on top, we have made use of all these elements. So we have kind of included div h1 ul li input button. Now one thing that I've noticed over here is if in view to do's item I go ahead and break this line over here like this and saving this, at this time if I go ahead and run the application todo.html in browser, you'll notice nothing is appearing and there is an error of this sort, unexpected token. But if I go back and undo this change, save it and rerun the page, you'll notice that the application is working fine. So that is something which you have to consider while writing Moon script code with .moon extension. Now let's go ahead and try removing one item from the list. So I click on working on to-do list and that gets removed. Let's go over here and create a new to-do item. Click on create now, and that's get added over here in the list, as you can see. So that was one example application using Moon script. In upcoming lectures we'll be also exploring some more cool features like reading data from an API and then displaying it in our application. That and all will be coming up in the next lecture.